Just a few days ago, after the Dallas Mavericks beat the Chicago Bulls, Daniel Gafford gave some insight into what it was like when he was playing for the Bulls, and apparently he almost fell out of love with the game of basketball right before being traded to the Washington Wizards. He details his time there and what's it like playing for the Dallas Mavericks, so we're going to break all that down, as well as we also have an injury update for Josh Green and Luka Doncic ahead of Sunday's game against the Denver Nuggets. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And let's just get right on into the video. We're talking about Daniel Gafford, the landlord, the center that we picked up at the trade deadline after we got rid of Rashawn Holmes, who's been paying dividends for this Mavericks team. He's just been phenomenal. He's just been having a great rest of his season with the Mavericks, and hopefully he can improve, get better, and just become a cornerstone piece for this team. But like I said in the intro, against the Chicago Bulls, after the game, he kind of told us the story of what happened when he was there, what he felt like, and like I said before, how he almost fell out of love with the game of basketball. Where right here, Daniel Gafford reveals why he fell out of love for the game 3 years before Luka pairing. And we're going to break down that article, but really quick, I just want to show you guys his stats for his whole career. And what I have highlighted was this season, 2023-24 with the Wizards and also with the Dallas Mavericks, where he is having a career year for both teams, but most importantly for the Dallas Mavericks, where he's averaging about 11 points, 7 rebounds, while almost about 2.5 offensive rebounds a game, almost 2 blocks a game, shooting 74% from the floor. Shooting 77% from the floor. Daniel Gafford's having an amazing season. He's elevating his game. He's improving. You know, he's only 25 years old, so there's still room for more improvement, but it's good to know that he didn't come over here and trade and just kind of fell off. He's continuing to play at his level and improving night after night. But like I said, it wasn't always like this for Daniel Gafford. There was a time where the man just didn't really want to play basketball, wasn't sure if he even cared about basketball. And in the article, that report is saying the 25-year-old had a highly successful stint with the Wizards spanning 4 seasons, averaging 8.6 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks in 218 regular season games. While Washington might have benefited from Gafford's re-evaluation, the same can't be said for Chicago. During the presser after the game, he said, "When I got traded from Chicago, it was like one door closed and another door open for me. It was another opportunity that I wanted to take advantage of at the end of the day. I feel that I've come here and I've locked into everything that I needed to lock in." During his stint with Chicago, Gafford admitted that he took things for granted and did not give it his best when he took the court. In the 74 games that he played for the Bulls, Daniel averaged 5 points, 2.8 rebounds, half assists, and 1.2 blocks per game. The Bulls were also not a successful franchise during his time with the team, posting a 29-54 record. Despite the lack of team success, Gafford was not willing to blame what he described as him being lazy in the situation that he was in. So, give us a little bit of insight on Daniel Gafford and his career and his journey through the NBA, where he was with the Chicago Bulls. That really wasn't a good team. Like I said, only about 29 wins. But for whatever reason, he just really wasn't in it. You know, maybe it was Chicago. You know, he's from Arkansas, and he says the one thing that he likes about playing in Dallas is that his family's close. So maybe in Chicago, he was a little bit too far away from family. Maybe he thought, like most rookies, I made it in the league, I don't have to try as hard, right? And being a more traditional big in today's NBA is more of a luxury than it has been in years prior, where a lot of teams want to go small ball. You want your big to stretch the floor, maybe even run an undersized big. But now it seems like you kind of need those traditional bigs back in the league. So maybe the weird transition from a smaller big to a true big might have made Daniel Gafford feel some ways about it, right? We're just speculating here, obviously, but look at Daniel Gafford. The man's been just phenomenal so far this year. 11 points, almost 8 rebounds, 1.4 assists, shooting 71% from the floor, 70%. That 70% from the free throw line is phenomenal. That's what you want to see out of your big man, who in late games, of course, the other team, the little hack-a-shack method where you want to get the big to the line because they're probably the worst free throw shooter, but that's not our case in Daniel Gafford. 70% for a center is not bad at all. And like I said before, he's just been playing very well for us. It's good to see that he's on this Dallas Mavericks team playing well and also just enjoying the game of basketball. The whole reason why he's here is because of the love of the game. But the article continues, saying he further said, "I feel like, in all honesty, just like where my work ethic is now, most definitely could have been a lot better in that area. I felt like I took a lot of stuff for granted. I felt like I didn't get the job done. Whenever I stepped on the floor, I felt like I was always fidgety. I felt like I was always not ready, not locked in." Along the way, Gafford revealed that he experienced a feeling he described as falling out of love with basketball while playing for the Bulls. So he took advantage of being traded as an opportunity to reevaluate his priorities. He said, "I kind of fell out of love with the game and I had to kind of reevaluate myself. Once I got traded to Washington, it's like I took a step back and figured out how to bring myself back into loving the game. It was a lot when it came to just me mentally here in Chicago. I want to be better than what I was, of course. And that's awesome. That takes a lot of growth and maturity to be able to just self-reflect that I'm an NBA player. I'm not really feeling basketball, but how is that impacting other people? Reevaluate, because it's not just your career. The way you act on the court, the way that you conduct yourself, it's affecting the team and everybody involved. So getting traded from the Bulls to the Wizards was probably the best thing for Daniel Gafford. And honestly, maybe he wouldn't be in the league, or maybe he would have quit. But he got traded to Washington, where he reevaluated, like he said, and he really locked in. And that's where his numbers really started to climb, and where he became just a good young center in today's game. Or I'm sorry, in today's league. But right here, we got a little quote. It doesn't really matter where you're on the floor. Luka Doncic is always going to find you. Daniel Gafford and what's like playing with Luka. And that just goes to show that Daniel Gafford loves being in the Dallas area, playing for the Dallas Mavericks, playing with Luka Doncic. So if anybody ever questions, do people even like playing with Luka? Yes. Daniel Gafford loves playing with Luka. We've seen the high-flying alley-oops, the pick-and-roll moves. Daniel Gafford gets spoon-fed from Luka Doncic. Luka's like treating everybody like they're his son. Like, I'm feeding all my kids. Right? So Daniel Gafford, obviously we see it on the floor where his defense is amazing. He is just a defensive anchor for this team. He had, 7 blocks in the other game? Not against the Warriors. Maybe it was the Warriors. I think he has 7 blocks against the Warriors. He's just phenomenal. And on top of just having great games, he's also been setting records. Most consecutive shots without a miss. Wilt Chamberlain, 35. Daniel Gafford, 33. Happened 55 years apart. Now, the other day, against Oklahoma City Thunder, Daniel Gafford's first field goal was a miss. And a lot of us wanted to see him just break that record, because I thought it would be something just cool to just end the season with. A guy we traded at the trade deadline just coming in and smashing records. Still a record nonetheless. He's 2 all-time, but they kind of split it up between before record keeping and during Wilt Chamberlain's era, where you guess, sources are trust me, bro. Sure, like Wilt scoring 100 points. Source? Trust me, bro. So, in all seriousness, it's very good to see that Daniel Gafford has come a long way, and that we're already getting the best version of Daniel Gafford so far, and for years to come, because I really do believe that Daniel Gafford is going to be on this team long term. Why not? We've seen Maxey at the 5, where he's a 4. He needs to be in the 4 slot. But we've seen Maxey play the 5. We've seen Dwight Powell play the 5. We have Derrick Lively, who's young. He's got a lot of potential. He's going to be up there. But right now, Daniel Gafford is our guy. And the team stands behind him. He really enjoys playing with the team. And like I said earlier, his family is in Arkansas. Not that far from Dallas. A little weekend trip, you can see your family. And I'm sure that he gets them out to see the games every time they're in Dallas. I'm sure he does. It's all part of a feel-good story, right? It's all part of the narratives and all about the stories that the NBA weaves and tells of players that get drafted. They don't really, feel it. They're losing their love for the game. They get traded. They find that spark. They go on to have a great career and hopefully win the championship. The story of Daniel Gafford will be told, and it will be amazing. But like I said in the intro, we also have injury updates, because yesterday during the Oklahoma City Thunder game in the first quarter, Josh Green had a weird injury where he stepped on the heels of another player, and I wasn't sure what type of injury it was, but it was an ankle sprain. But we do have an update. Kid says the x-rays came back negative on Green's ankle, and I had to do a little medical research, because I'm like, okay, negative, is it good? Is it bad? I'm not sure. Is the ankle negative? But anyway, I looked it up, and nothing bad. Nothing substantial is wrong with Josh Green's ankle. I'm sure he's just going to take today and tomorrow to just rest and ice it for our game against the Nuggets on Sunday. But we also have an update on Luka Doncic, who was also, he didn't get injured, but he left the Golden State Warriors game in the fourth quarter with a hamstring soreness. And Luka Doncic missed last night's game against the Thunder with hamstring soreness, but could be ready for Sunday's game. This injury is not expected to be serious, and there is hope internally that Luka Doncic will be good to go on Sunday, and I love to see it. We saw yesterday night against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who is a top team in the West, where we kept it pretty close. I thought we had like a 10-point lead at one time. I guess our biggest lead was only 3 points, which is fine. Whenever the Mavericks are winning, I always kind of inflate what really happened. But we kept it close up until the end. You could argue the refs, no calls, the lineups, PJ Washington shooting bad. There's a lot of things going wrong, but even so, we didn't get blown out. We kept it close. If the team was fully healthy, who knows what would have happened? We beat the Thunder a few weeks ago by like 30 plus, so I feel good. That loss really doesn't hang with me, but we do have another test against the Denver Nuggets, who might be a team that we may have to see first round. So hopefully the guys come back healthy. Hopefully the guys come together and just get ready to go. We only have like maybe 17 games left in the season. We do have a tough stretch. After the Nuggets game, we see the Kings twice, and I want to say we see the Jazz twice. The Jazz aren't the best team, but they're sneaky good. The Kings are another team that we may see in the play-in situation if we don't move up or down, or, well, if we don't move up out of the play-in situation. So after those 5 games, it's smooth sailing for the Dallas Mavericks. Rack up some wins, try to move up in the standings, and hopefully make a good push in the playoffs. Go for a finals run. I'm all for it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you guys making this far to the video. Make sure you subscribe. Check out our socials in the link below. We got our Twitter and our Discord. Make sure you jump in the Discord because we are doing a jersey giveaway on this channel to celebrate our 5K milestone that we hit. I'm giving away a free jersey of your choosing. It doesn't have to be a Mavericks jersey. It could be any jersey. It could be for you, your mom, your kid, anybody. The way you do that is you have to become a channel member on this channel of any tier. And on the end of the month, on the first game of April that we go live for, I'm going to do a live, during halftime, I'm going to do a live, just spin the wheel of names to see who wins. And the best way, or the easy way to enter is just to be a channel member. The moment you join the channel as a member, you're entered in the giveaway. So make sure you join the Discord because that's where more information will come out. And that's also the easy way to get in touch with me if you do win. But until next time, y'all take care. Peace.